Stan Gibilisco here, from somewhere in orbit, around an unknown planet, in an unknown solar system, in an unknown galaxy, in an unknown universe. Nothing unfamiliar about that to me. I'm going to talk about cold cranking amps. Cold cranking amps. Now, when you purchase an automotive battery, you're going to find that there are two important specifications that you're going to want to be interested in. One of them is its storage capacity in ampere hours, A-H or AH. A typical figure for a car battery is 60 ampere hours, but you want to make sure that that battery can store enough juice to suit your needs for a long period of time. But just because a battery can store a lot of juice has no bearing on how well it can actually start your car or your truck, especially when it's cold. Now, by cold cranking, what we usually mean is that after your engine has been allowed to cool down to the temperature of the environment, room temperature or lower, let's just say around 40 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius or something like that. Once your vehicle engine has been allowed to cool down, it's going to need a certain amount of current in a very short burst in order to start up. Just because a battery can store 1,000,000 ampere hours doesn't mean that it's going to be able to start your vehicle from a cold situation. Typical cold cranking ampere figures can range anywhere from 400 to 750 amperes just for an ordinary automotive battery. Now, when you're using, let's just say that this current right here, the maximum scale here is 750 amps. And we're talking about time here, say in, maybe seconds. Not hours, as we did with the video on storage capacity in ampere hours, but seconds. 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, when you first turn that key to start that vehicle, it's going to demand a huge amount of current in order to get those spark plugs going and get everything up to speed. It's going to be a sudden spike. Maybe you're going to have to back off and try again. Now, that is a lot of ampere hours, because 750 is a lot of amps. It doesn't, if your battery has only 60 ampere hours to begin with, 750 amps, that's not going to last you very long. Maybe 3 or 4 good cranks like that, you'll flood your engine probably before you will deplete your battery, assuming that your battery is in reasonably good condition. But if your battery isn't in good condition and this figure has gone down to, say, maybe 200 cold cranking amps, you might not be able to start your vehicle at all, especially when it's really cold. And that's why cold, old batteries are really not a very good thing to have, especially in the black holes of Dakota Territory, United States of advertising. So the difference between cold cranking amps and ampere hours is something like the difference between the maximum speed that a sprinter can attain in the 100-yard dash versus the endurance required to run a marathon. Of course, you can figure out which is which in the analogy there, can't you? I thought so. So that's it. That's what they mean by cold cranking amps, and that is an important figure because you want to be able to start that car when you're somewhere you've never been before and you don't know anybody and you don't know even where the tow trucks are and all that. You don't want any of that nonsense if you can avoid it. So get a brand new battery every 3 or 4 years, I'd recommend. Maybe even every 2 years in a tough climate like this. And make sure that you've got those cold cranking amps when you need them. And in particular, you will really need them if you venture into outer space, in orbit around unknown planets, in unknown solar systems, in unknown galaxies, and in unknown universes. Stan Gibilisco, signing off for now. So long.